Breaking this minute, 3 Dalit miners in Chittorgarh were paraded naked, tied to a tree and beaten by a group of men. Later on Saturday evening, the 3 boys were sent to a juvenile home on charges of stealing a motorbike of an upper caste man. Well, let's go across to my colleague Vandana joining us with further details on this story that's coming in. Mob justice there for these 3 Dalit miners, Vandana.
Well, absolutely shocking story coming in there, Akshay, where these 3 young Dalit teens were assaulted by a mob. They were stripped, they were then paraded in Chittorgarh. These now 3 teens reportedly were accused of stealing a motorcycle from a man, belonging to a man from an upper caste. And as punishment for that, like you rightly pointed out, mob justice was carried out. These boys were tied to a tree, thrashed, stripped, and then paraded in Chittorgarh. And what is even more shocking is that a case has been filed, however, against the children for the stealing of this motorbike. And as of now, no action has been taken against this mob that has indulged in this atrocious behavior of tying up these 3 miners to a tree and then beating them up and parading them by taking law into their own hands. So as of now, no action has been taken against the mob. We'll have to wait and watch.
Okay, no action against the perpetrators just as yet. Vandana, thanks very much for joining us. Supriya also now joining us live on this story. Supriya, we understand that, of course, these 3 boys, they're committing a crime of stealing a bike of a person for which they were being penalized. But the fact and the manner in which they were stripped, paraded, beaten up, that is completely unacceptable. So while a case has been lodged against these 3 minor Dalit boys, no action being taken against those who inflicted such injury on these 3.
Well, actually, first and foremost, these are allegations, and till the time the court is not going to hold them guilty, they will be treated as the accused and not as the convict. So no one has a right to, in a way, take law in their hand and give them punishment the way they were seen brutally thrashed and beaten up in that video. As far as another aspect of this case is that these 3 boys are minors. There are again very strict norms as far as the minors are concerned in the country as to how these kids will be treated under the Juvenile Justice Act. If the crime is there, it is the law, it is the court, it is the Juvenile Justice Board which has to decide as to what punishment has to be given to them. But there was no right there was no legal authenticity that the people have to beat these children up the way they were beaten up in a very merciless fashion in Rajasthan. They come from a Dalit tribe, and what we are learning is that it turned out into a Dalit versus upper class case. And the police was later on called in, and police didn't intervene in the right time.
So it seems that the fact that they belong to the Dalit